So briefly, let's say in previous chapters, communism, there have been some chapters on communism and what happened then. Geology, tours, travels and tours, plans to marry and move either to England or to America. Indeed, one visit from America will have to take place, if I don't forget, in the next few chapters. Then a revolution, big change. Hero, mentioned in Newsweek, student rally in honor school, worked for Time magazine, as it happens, not Newsweek. With Newsweek, I talked a little, Michael Myers, but then I worked for James Wild from Time, Radio Sweden, and a few others. Money, great car for the age, something like a private jet now. Attracted, made many women interested, many sexual relationships because of time, because of freedom, which was just being used and abused, maybe. I looked differently. I talked a lot, so with that, it worked like a miracle potion of some kind. The joke was I'm so blah blah blah. I'm so such a blah blah that they would say at one point, okay, never. I don't want to hear anymore. Let's just fuck and get over with this continuous talking and talking. Which is why, I mean, that's the way that's not with no one to talk. I'm just assuming there is someone out there, and I'm talking to him or her. I'm a river to my people. Again, I use that. I love that quote. That's Anthony Quinn as a sheikh in Lawrence of Arabia. When he's accused of being interested in money, but then he says, "Oh, river." So it's self-deprecating also in some ways. In that, like Anthony Quinn character, I'm not really a river to my people. But anyway. Few things happened, some of them dramatic. The attack when we were in the car in Mamaia. Anyway, look up, click on the links, as they say. Increase our traffic. Make it from 10 to 30 clicks per hour. And therefore, in about 250 years, we'll reach 10,000 viewers a day. Wow. Yes. So we met the Queen of Beauty sometimes in fall in 1990. I was with the German Shepherd, Daryl Van Horn, from The Witches of Eastwick. That's the name of the character, played by Jack Nicholson in the movie, with Susan Sarandon, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Cher as the witches. Not the fantastic book, though. I tried and I wasn't really. Although I loved the Rabbit series by the same author. Fantastic. Rabbit Run, Rabbit Redux. Anyway. Exuberant about this meeting, took her to the show in the evening, then at the railway station, welcomed her back when she came from Moldavia, from Iași. And then I made a statement of some kind. God knows. Sweet Jesus. What I said, I can't recall. Even if I think I also had some small sort of speech prepared, like the communists in, I'm reading now a fabulous book, Nancy Mitford, I had read before this one, and I noted on the blog called Comfort Farm. But this one is Pursuit of Love. It's fabulous, and they have one of the characters is in a phase where she thinks in love, but not really. She's just infatuated with a communist, and she says with hilarious. Can you say hilarious skill? No. She has a fantastic skill, and it's hilarious to read about the communists making they don't talk to each other, they make speeches to each other. So there you go, another mistake. Maybe I wrote a speech. Well, I've seen you, I don't know, you are the Queen of Beauty. I'm just making this up. But then maybe, even if I'm not Prince Charming, maybe. So we went along for a while. I was driving her. It was good that I had this car. Maybe that was the advantage. Maybe she needed a driver, not a boyfriend or a lover. I don't know. Fact is, I took her to. I still don't know the name. Well, I can look him up. Petre Gheorghiu. Petre Gheorghiu. I think that's to this guy who's an actor and a teacher with a good reputation, so that she can pass the second exam for this University of Acting. And something bad happened quite early in the game, I guess. I drove her to Drumul Taberi, and then I had to go back or something. I know quite often I would just, for the hour she spent or a little, I would sit in the car and wait, because it wouldn't make sense to go and spend 20 minutes to go downtown, another 20 minutes to come back, and left with just 20 minutes to do something somewhere in the city, let's say. But anyway, this time I may have left her because she would have to spend more time, maybe 2 hours, or she had to meet with someone else, whatever. I'm sorry. Fact is, I returned without her. That's what I'm saying. I left her then, and I was alone in the car. And then I remembered that intersection, that place where it happened. You come on a straight line. You drive in a straight line, and then you have a traffic light, and you have to turn to the left. Not a 90 degrees left turn, but just a light curve. And I had a green light, but then taking left, I couldn't really see her very well. There's a woman who comes in front of the car, and I hit the brakes, of course, but I still hit the woman. She dies. I cross over her and then back, and then cross again over her, and then I'm just. It's a stupid joke they had here in the past, decades ago. In fact, I heard it again, and it's mean because it's against various categories of people. One visiting or going with some in the car, it doesn't matter the details, but meeting this category of people that he doesn't like, he hates, they hate, being racist, being whatever, when they hit their target, they do this as a kind of an absurd, sick, monstrous, morbid, whatever joke. Drive over, drive back, and in fact it shows how probably many supporters of the very stable genius would act, think, and indeed it's in Borat. In Borat, he goes to one of those rallies, and they have various lock her up, you know the drill, and then a new one, catch her and chop her up like the Saudis did, or with a rhyme somewhere. I mean, with the poor journalist, in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, and They caught the guy and then they cut him into pieces. And so these supporters like the idea and they want to use it again, and they will do that with the car. So no, I just not drive forward, backwards, forward, over. And she had a problem with the knee, so she didn't really die. She didn't really. I wish she did. I'm just fucking with you, knowing that's there are very few of you out there, if any, at this stage. Yes, traffic shows there will be some clicking, but then they're surely gone after 3-4 minutes of this silly thing. So it's for posterity, for the grandchildren or my grandchildren, whatever. May have a knack of looking at their silly, foolish ancestor, me. So no, it was something at the knee. Maybe she broke her knee or something. But again, I had a green light. She had a red light. She just went into and it wasn't. It came in front of the car. Not speeding, not anything. Even if there was a green light, so I didn't start from zero. I mean, I did not have to stop. Anyway, it's pointless to. It's something there. It was important. For years, she sued me for 2-3 years. It gave me an idea of the system, the way the system is stupid here. Let me give you this because I may forget later on, and maybe I have to close this. But it's just a thing, as I said, it threw a light on the judicial system. In one of the many hearings, if you will, the judge, so case Ionescu versus, or whatever the name is, Giculescu versus Ionescu, no? So okay, he's supposed to read and know and pass a judgment, okay, but he has no idea. So your neighbors, why don't you make up? Why don't you make peace? What neighbors? We had an accident. He doesn't know what he's talking about. How can you pass a judgment when you don't know? You don't even know that this is a case of an accident. So anyway. Luckily for me, there was another pedestrian, a woman who saw this, gave me the number, and came to the trial sometime later and testified and said, yeah, I saw that was the man, the driver had a green light, came driving normally, and this woman, perhaps drunk, so there's a red light. I know I stopped. I mean, there's heavy traffic. I mean, today it's not the traffic you find in Jakarta, but it's really, really heavy. And back then it wasn't like that, but still, it's one of the busiest, has ever been one of the busiest places where there are a few ways that come in the same spot. So anyway, she saw and saved the day for me in a way, because otherwise it would be my word against hers or something like that. I took her to the hospital. As I said, she had paid maybe the foot in plaster. I offered 500 lei, I don't know, let's say $100-$200 at that day, or something, as a token, a gesture. I mean, I'm sorry, it was me. I mean, it wasn't my fault, but if I were not there, you could still, or maybe get killed on the other side. I mean, as you cross, maybe the one that's coming faster. It's difficult to know, and pointless to wonder what the future would look like. Fact is, she went to the hospital and sued me. More tomorrow.